So this gentleman played on the infamous power line for the Chicago Cougars of the early 1970s. Jan Popiel, Rosaire Pama, this guy scared the opponents like you wouldn't believe, and he drew a lot of interest for that expansion WHA franchise. So today we're going to talk about the short career but the very talented Bob Sicinski. Now Bob Sicinski entered minor pro play as an undrafted player from the St. Catharines Blackhawks of the OHA. Played 3 years in St. Catharines. Best season was his second in 66 with 49 points in 48 games. Now from there he had played in the EHL and the CHL over 6 seasons. Best campaign, of course, was that 1970 squad in Greensboro, where he had 115 points in 17 games, and including 5 points in 16 games in the playoffs. Now, he was in the Chicago system for quite some time before he eventually jumped to the WHA. Last season with the Dallas Blackhawks from 72, where he had 84 points, and that talent carried over to that great start of franchise for Chicago. He had 88 points that season in 77 games. 74, his production went down quite a bit. Only 40 points in 69 games, but he showed a medal in the playoffs with 14 points in 18 playoff games. 75, he moved to the Racers. He had 53 points in 77 games. 76, 43 points in 70 games. And his last campaign at WHA, again for the Racers, 36 points in 60 games. From then it was back to the minors. The Oklahoma City Blazers is the CHL. 78, the Mariners kind of reformed in the PHL in that campaign. 53 points in 42 games, and he wrapped up his season with the Brantford Alexanders of the OHA Senior League in the second half of the 78 season with 14 points in 13 games. Again, WHA totals, not too bad, almost point a game. 353 games, 260 points, 76 goals, and in the playoffs, 17 points in 34 games. But again, and if you're a Chicago Cougar fan, the power line, it must bring back really, really good memories, because they could really score and move the puck. And the only problem is with Chicago, that playoff run in 74 kind of hurt them because the expectations were getting a little bit too high. The Pat Stapleton-led team was breaking through, but they were still competing with the much stronger major pro teams in Chicago, like the Bears, the Blackhawks, the Bulls. And it'd be interesting to see if the Chicago Cougars would have been a better option to join the WHA if there was a mid-1970s merge. I think the Cougars would have done well in that part of Chicago if you put a team someplace else, like in a different part of Illinois. Call them the Illinois Cougars or something like that. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. We're trying to do a little bit of history of some of the Chicago Cougar players, because we've got, I guess, actually quite a bit of hits of our Chicago Cougar podcasts in the past. So that is the story about the center Bob Sicinski, and at 5'11", 174, your typical prototype WHA center, big enough to hit and big enough to move fast. Thanks for listening. Bye.